Hi y'all, I'm Frankie, coming to you with 12 of this week's best-selling fiction books and what people are saying about them. First off, at number 1, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. In a quiet town on the North Carolina coast in 1969, a young woman who survived alone in the marsh becomes a murder suspect. Kirkus Reviews calls this piece of nature-infused romantic fiction charming, despite its implausibilities and monochromatic characterization, with Publishers Weekly describing it as an evocative debut with an unforgettable heroine. Number 2, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, in which the lives of twin sisters who run away from a southern black community at age 16 intertwine, as one returns home and the other takes on a different racial identity. Kirkus Reviews and Publishers Weekly both gave this book starred reviews, with Kirkus calling it a rich, sharp story about the way identity is formed, comparing it to Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. Publishers Weekly called it impressive, saying that Bennett renders her characters and their struggles with great compassion and explores the complicated state of mind that Stella finds herself in while passing as white. Number 3, The Guest List by Lucy Foley, in which a wedding between a TV star and a magazine publisher on an island off the coast of Ireland turns deadly. Publishers Weekly calls The Guest List an entertaining if uneven mystery, saying that the tension of the setup isn't quite matched by the reveals, though the nicely creepy setting compensates somewhat. Number 4, Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. This is a Twilight companion novel told from the vampire Edward's point of view, in which Edward's broody inner monologue allows readers to follow every beat of his falling in love. Kirkus Reviews describes it as a love letter to fans who will forgive and even revel in its excesses and indulgences. Fans have been waiting a long time for this novel, as Stephanie Meyer was already working on it back in 2008, but put the project on hold when 12 chapters of the unfinished manuscript were leaked. Number 5, The Order by Daniel Silva. This is the 20th book in the Gabrielle Allen series. The art restorer and Israeli spy cuts his family's vacation short to investigate whether Pope Paul VII was murdered. Kirkus praises Silva's use of far-right villains and his handling of topical issues, such as Europe's xenophobia towards both Jews and new waves of immigrants from Africa and Asia. They gave the book a starred review, calling it another thoughtfully entertaining summer read from Silva. Publishers Weekly also notes the wild plot and cartoonish bad guys, and says that newcomers may find the contrivances too much to swallow, but series fans will know to leave their disbelief behind. Number 6, Sucker Punch by Laurel K. Hamilton. This is the 27th book in the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series, in which Anita investigates a case where the evidence that a were-leopard killed his own uncle doesn't quite add up. It has 4.1 stars on Goodreads, and the Fantasy Hive gave it a 4-star review, saying that fans of the older Anita Blake will find it a refreshing palate cleanser. Number 7, American Dirt by Janine Cummins, in which a bookseller flees Mexico for the United States with her son while pursued by the head of a drug cartel. Kirkus Reviews gave this a starred review, calling it a terrifying and tender novel, intensely suspenseful and deeply humane. However, the novel has faced criticism, with some Latinx authors calling it an example of cultural appropriation. Author and activist Miriam Gerba described it as a Trumpian fantasy of what Mexico is, and a noxious work masquerading as a piece of progressive literature. Number 8, First Case by James Patterson and Chris Tebbets. After getting kicked out of MIT, Angela Hoot interns with the FBI and tracks the murderous siblings known as the Poet and the Engineer. This currently has 4 stars on Goodreads. Number 9, 28 Summers by Ellen Hilderbrand, in which a relationship that started in 1993 between Mallory and Jake comes to light while Mallory is on her deathbed and Jake's wife runs for president. Kirkus gave this a starred review, saying that Hilderbrand gets everything right and sets the gold standard in escapist fiction. Number 10, Near Dark by Brad Thor. This is the 19th book in the Scott Harvath series. With a bounty on his head, Harvath makes an alliance with a Norwegian intelligence operative. This book has 4.4 stars on Goodreads, and Brad Thor announced in 2017 that the first book in the series, called The Lions of Lucerne, will be getting a movie adaptation sometime in the future. Number 11. Harrow the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. In this second book of the Locked Tomb trilogy, Harrow Harkonnen must overcome her failing health to become an angel of undeath. Kirkus Reviews describes it as a slow-gathering, hallucinatory adventure that eventually delivers a great payoff, while Publishers Weekly gave it a starred review, calling it a masterful, dark, genre-bending tale. And finally, number 12. The Silent Wife by Karen Slaughter. This is the 10th book in the Will Trent series, in which investigations of 2 crimes force Trent to call on his girlfriend's expertise as a medical examiner. Kirkus Reviews calls it a slow-burning novel that will rattle you down to your bones, while Publishers Weekly says that Slaughter delivers an unflinching, deeply empathetic exploration of the stigma surrounding rape and the enduring trauma suffered by its survivors.